We'll talk about one of the weirder battles Animation Rewind has made, and we'll talk about Tracer versus Sans. And Sans is actually far weaker than you think. Sans is actually farther. In terms of characters that are farther, Sans isn't that strong. So Sans is human level physically. He's the weakest monster. This is gonna be a quicker one, okay? Sans is the weakest monster in the underground. And raw strength, here, wall with telekinesis. He's capable of harming Frisk normally and slamming them into walls. Can bypass conventional durability with soul magic. So they're supersonic and supersonic plus, attack speed and reaction speed, capable of dodging Kyle Frisk to such a degree, so he can never land a hit on Sans. Even if they were set, they know exactly what to do and where he would be, even if he was asleep. Only hit after his opponent broke the rules of the game. To do so should be one of and not one of the fastest non-god tier characters in the game. Sans, of course, this is his biggest weakness, is his durability. His durability is pretty weak. Sans is human level, where it's in terms of durability, isn't that strong. I guess to make available is Sans is actually weaker than you think. This is not Sans is not that strong. I don't know why Animation Rewind ranks Sans so much. Okay, Animation Rewind should be called the Sans rank channel. Okay, I complain about Death Battle ranking Superman post crisis. Post crisis Superman giving him pre crisis Superman feats. Okay, then we have Animation Rewind saying that Superman, that Sans is, far stronger than people think he is. Okay, his stamina is not that great; it's just average. Sans is not really gets tired really easily. As well. So Sans is not that strong, and his biggest weakness is he's incredibly lazy. Sans' biggest weakness, of course, we all know he's lazy. He doesn't really want to do anything. You know, and people act like Sans is so strong, but Sans is actually super weak in terms of even just versus in general, okay? Sans canonically in the game has like 1 HP, okay? Which basically means he's fodder, okay? He's freaking fodder, okay? He's freaking fodder character, and you're telling me, according to Animation Rewind, Tracer would lose to Sans because we are a Sans fanboy channel and we gotta admit that, okay? Even though Sans is freaking war level, okay? And in the Overwatch game, it has been confirmed Tracer is higher than freaking war level, okay? Sans would be comparable to freaking Scout, okay? The only thing that would be similar on is speed. The only thing Sans would probably win in would probably be speed, okay? Here, but Tracer is still hypersonic, which is still higher than supersonic. Plus, supersonic plus, Sans is supersonic plus, and you're telling me that Sans would win because Sans would outspeed Tracer. That was Animation Rewind's argument. Okay, Sans would win because Sans would outspeed Tracer. Like, what kind of stupid argument is that? Even though Sans is a supersonic plus, and that's reaction speed. Okay, that's reaction speed. Okay, now and super. When I even just watched the video, I knew it was wrong. Okay, Sans is supersonic attack speed, able to constantly tag, cower, and frisk. So, Sans is not that strong. Okay, Sans is not that strong. I think we have already covered this. Sans has worse, as human level durability. He has like 1 HP in the game, and also he's the weakest monster in the, physically. He is able to be one shot in the start of the game, as weaker than Monster Kid. So, Sans is human level durability, okay, and you have Tracer, is likely small building level, and we sees one of the least durable characters in the game. She's able to withstand brief bouts of grade Overwatch grade gunfire and wrestle to the likes of Widowmaker, who is definitely not human level. Okay, and you can use like the animation rewind where I was like, oh, but Tracer's just like superhuman level. It's like Tracer's war level. That's the animation rewind logic. Yeah. Okay, animation rewind. Is not a they think they're like better than of course School Attack, but then we have like battles like Sans versus Tracer that make no sense. Oh, Sans is faster, so Sans even though Sans is actually slower, okay, slower, okay, and Tracer's attack potency is small building level. Luckily, Powder is powered with Genji and can affect. Well, Genji is also built small building level, and Doomfist's building level, as he was able to level Skyscraper with his, gauntlet. As well, again, Sans vs. Tracer was made before Doomfist was created, so I can see why he fought. But this is like if there was a rematch, they would have to include the building level feats again. With that, of being able to spar against like Genji, affect many, but she can affect heavily armored characters as well. She's also hypersonic, and also she's subsonic on her own with hypersonic reactions. So she had no trouble keeping up with Genji. And also, let's not forget she was able to react to a bullet, very quickly. Reaction goes around Doomfist, dodge missiles. Okay, I think Tracer would be able to dodge all the bones and Gaster Blaster Sans uses. I think she'll be able to dodge it. Okay. And durability is probably the same as well. Even then, she'll still be a room level, which is, house level, which is still higher than wall level. Same thing with Tracer vs. Scout. Tracer vs. Scout. People were like, oh, but Tracer's wall level. No, she's not wall level. She is able. First of all, she's able to regularly spar with Genji. And the second thing is her stamina is higher than Sans. Okay? That's the thing. Sans has a very low stamina. Sans freaking gets tired so easily. Okay? If Sans gets tired so easily, that Sans would probably lose by passing out. Okay? The only thing is Sans actually is intelligent. He actually is smart. But again, he would tire out so easily. He would tire out so easily that he would probably lose. And Sans' weakness is bigger than Tracer's weakness, like her Fang takes time to charge. Sans' big weakness is he's just lazy in general. And he tires out so easily. Okay? Sans tires out so easily as well. Sans will tire out so easily. That's in of course, stamina. Sans has very low stamina. It says average here. But once he'll eventually will run out of stamina before Tracer. That would be the battle. He would run out of stamina first. Okay. Like that. Okay? And his durability is pretty weak. Same thing with his striking strength. Okay? Human level feats. He's the weakest monster in the underground. And you're telling me that he is, oh, we have and then we have the worst people, the people who would say Sans is faster than White. Okay, I don't think even Animation Rewind says Sans is faster than White, but you have these people online that will tell you Sans is faster than White. Sans is not faster than White. Okay. And yeah, I think Tracer would probably beat Sans in this battle. Okay, and that was like one of the two battles that Sans actually won. That's the hilarious part. That's like one of the only two battles that Sans actually won. And Sans with updated. Well, again, this was uploaded. Animation Rewind uploaded that in 2016. Okay, but Sans would actually lose with the updated, Doom with stats and stuff. You know, yeah. So yeah, Sans' father. Okay. Sans is basically a freaking a father. And like you have like some of these like saying that classic Doom guy. I don't know how strong classic Doom guy is. I think classic Doom guy is actually slower. Would be slower, but Tracer is higher in terms of speed. And they're probably using a version of Doom guy that is supersonic. Tracer is hypersonic, so Tracer even then Tracer would still be faster than Sans with reaction speed. Tracer still has a higher reaction speed than Sans. Okay, so he'll be able to react to all Sans' abilities and attacks. Okay. Okay. And so yep, there you go. That is Animation Rewind. Basically just debunking him on this battle. Again, this battle was 4 years old. Like now it will soon be 5 years old. Okay, I watched it. And again, Doomfist was not created, so I think that's was before Doomfist. Which made Overwatch from an extremely farther, wall of reverse to a building level tier verse. Which is probably why people got angry over Scout losing to Tracer. Because most people think that, Scout is like this uber god, okay? This uber god that, solos over, that would solo Overwatch, but he wouldn't, okay? Even then, like that. It's the same thing of Sans, okay? Sans, is not that strong, okay? Most of the characters that he won against on versus Battle Wiki were characters that were around. The speed was equalized, basically. So Sans could have the advantage. Okay. So if speed was equalized, that means, basically like that, Sans would lose. Okay. At this battle. And that's basically it. Goodbye.